Well, it's crazy how quickly the year goes by and we're already in the gift giving season once again. How you guys all doing? I'm Aaron. This is Gideon's Tactical. Thanks for hanging out with me today, where we have an epic gear gift guide for you guys this year. I mean, just check out all the stuff I got here laid out. Spent the morning really thinking through some stuff. And I mean, we got everything from like sharpeners to eyewear to movies to equipment, multi-tools. I mean, just down the whole list. You know, drinkware and everything in between. Hold on, let me hit some eggnog here. I may have put some special ingredients that only I will ever know are in the ingredients inside my eggnog little drink there. But what we're gonna do today is I'm gonna try to run through these real quick for you. I'll try to break down chapters as best I can. But these are items that I really enjoy, that I would recommend to any friend or family member. And you guys are just an extended part of my family, being part of the GT crew here, regardless if you're watching for the very first time or you've been watching for years at this point. So I wanna point you guys in the right direction, give you some ideas to think through, to bless those loved ones in your life. And I'll do my best to have as many links in the description box below as wherever possible to my affiliate networks that I partner with. I will have a big like Amazon Christmas list link, so that will be provided, as well as my link hub as we go through here. So really hoping to point you guys in the right direction and really highlight some really cool, unique stuff, some things you've never seen here on the channel before. And since I guess we'll just start with one or two drinkware items. This right here, we picked these up when we went full-time RVing because we wanted like durable cups that could kind of be multi-use, hot or cold. These are Stanley 16-ounce pint glasses that will hold heat or cold really well. We got like a kit of 4. I think they have like 10 different color combinations, so you don't mix them up, you know, when you're hanging out with friends and family. But I love using them. Those are a great gift item. And then if you are thinking more like you want lids and stuff, I have so many different cups and mugs. You can ask my wife, Mrs. GT. But honestly, it comes down to, I think these are 24 ounces. The 20 or 24 ounce Yeti mugs, and then buy the extended handle. That handle is a game changer. I'll literally hook that into my pocket and I can walk around if I need to. The lid, you know, just how they fit into most cup holders in vehicles. That's a big plus for me as well. So those are two, just kind of give you guys a quick jump in as we dive in. Movie-wise, let's do this. Probably the best Christmas movie of all time, Die Hard. Now, they know, the streaming services know, these are usually, movie is not usually free around the holiday season. You gotta buy it. So obviously you could buy it, download it, you know, through the different services. I just got a Blu-ray so I can watch it anywhere, anytime. But that is an awesome one. And then, I mean, you just got to, right? You gotta watch Die Hard. I try to do it on Christmas Eve while I'm wrapping gifts. That's when I usually try to watch it every year, because it is a Christmas Eve / Christmas movie, and anyone who wants to disagree with me, throw down in the comments. That, and I'll highlight another one real quick, is Band of Brothers. Every year around this time, I watch Band of Brothers. I know Netflix is currently streaming this, I believe, but I bought this way back before any of the streaming services. Let's talk about timepieces real quick. You guys ask me a lot, like, what watch are you wearing? You know, when I'm doing a blade, you know, test or whatever. And I love watches. I have plenty. Really, if you want to think about like for giving somebody a gift, two options are both Casios. Is obviously any form of a G-Shock. I mean, that's what I got on here today. It's like a Fireman G-Shock I got at a discount. You know, between like 40 and 100 bucks, you can get like 80% of the G-Shocks, and they're epic. I mean, you know, last the person that you're giving it to probably a decade. I bet you a decade before it really starts to wear out or there's some sort of damage. But if you don't want to spend that much, between like $15 and $30, you can get the Casio Illuminator series. This is just one example. I love this one right here. There's so many models out there. You can get really inexpensive ones for like the kids. You can get these really cool looking ones, and they're pretty durable. Depending on the model particularly, you can get ones with recessed faces that look very similar to G-Shocks. And those are like $22 sometimes. 10-year battery, you know, they have all the basic form and function that you would want out of a wristwatch. And the Illuminator series is a great alternative to G-Shocks if you want to just either have different, you know, you like watches like I do and you want like 4 or 5 and you don't want to spend 80 bucks on 4 or 5 watches. For 80 bucks, you get 3 or 4 Illuminators, no problem. And I bet you they'll last almost as long as any G-Shock under regular wear and tear. Those are some great options. And as we continue along, I do want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of this video, which has been with us as a partner for a couple years now as part of our affiliate program, LA Police Gear. Those guys are awesome. A lot of this stuff you could pick up there, and they're gonna have tons of sales, you know, all the time going on throughout the holidays. But one piece of equipment that I'm actually using a ton is their Tradesman pair of pants. These are from their Benchmark series, and they have their Everyday Joe pair of pants, which I really liked. And then they hit me up recently and they're like, hey, we got these Tradesman pair. You wanna try them out? And these are ridiculous, guys, with particularly the blend of cotton to spandex. You know, they flex a little bit, but they're got all the different types of pockets, the waistband flexes, it's got double button, you know, and then good zipper and a great place to measure, you know, where things count and where they're most important. They have a little measuring tape included, as well as a plethora of different pockets and just really well laid out, and comes in like under 50 bucks with a couple different color combinations, and they're true to size. I wear 34s. These fit excellent, and these are great workman pants that I've been using a lot with the gear testing and stuff, and I really appreciate them. So they have those. They have their Everyday Joe if you don't want the tradesman layout and more of like an everyday carry layout. They have those, as well as tons of other options. So I have my like standing 10% off promo code that you can apply anywhere on the site all the time, year round. But I mean, anytime you click on it during the holidays, I'm sure they're gonna have different sales going on. So hop on over there, check those guys out. They are amazing. And without you guys and them and our other awesome sponsors, I couldn't do what I do here. So with that, let's go ahead and talk about multi-tools. There's really, if you were to ask me and really like put my feet to the fire and say, dude, you gotta have 3 multi-tools and that's it. You gotta dump the rest of your collection. I would have 3. And it would be the Leatherman Skeletool. This one I use a lot when I don't wanna carry a pocket knife, but I need a little bit of what a multi-tool could do. Like I don't wanna carry both. This is just such a great little option. It has just enough to get most basic tasks done and is still slim enough that it feels like a pocket knife. Now on the flip side, what I do use a lot, and I just trusted throughout the whole year of being on the road and traveling, is the Leatherman Charge. I know it doesn't really have that much more to offer than the Wave, except for like the handles are a little bit different, S30V over 420, and then their like safety hook on the serrated blade, and the serrated blade is a little bit more aggressive. I believe that's the only difference. But those things are totally worth it to me. Those are worth the extra, like, what is it, 40 bucks probably, 40 to 50 bucks, that the Charge is over the Leatherman Wave. So the Leatherman Charge would be like my go-to more heavy-duty multi-tool. And then finally, it would be the SOG Power Pint. I have not been impressed with any of SOG's multi-tools over the years. I've had several and they all kind of really fall short. And then I picked this one up kind of on a whim. And this is particularly since Leatherman removed the squirt from their rotation. This is an epic alternative, right around the same price, like 40 to 50 bucks. And this has a lot to offer, lots of implements, has a pocket clip that is pretty easy to carry in your pocket and will definitely be on the slim side if you're carrying it like on your weak side compared to your pocket knife or sidearm, those type of things. So those are like the 3 that I could recommend, depending on size, your price, and what you think the person you may be gifting it to or yourself would actually be using. Those would be like my top 3 recommended gift items in the multi-tool arena. And that will have us flow into just a couple other tools. Let me think here. Let's do, we'll kind of save blades here for a little bit later. I know so many of you are probably like, what blades? Tell me. So for saws, I love, like Silky, I absolutely respect, but the way that they tend to heat treat their blades probably hold their edge a little bit longer, but they tend to break pretty easily. I've handed some to friends, had them snap. I've broken 1 or 2. And when I came across the Samurai brand from Japan as well, and they're about half the cost of Silky's, I just gravitated to them, and that's what I recommend. That's what I use. So this is the KISS, K-I-S-I folding saw. You know, it's amazing. Now it's not like per se a bushcraft saw where you can get like detailed notches because of the flex or the arch of the blade, but for just general sawing tasks around camp or, you know, just pruning around your home, that. And then I have, even on the wall behind me, I have the Samurai Ichiban. That was the first one. That's a solid like unfolding saw. Those are awesome. That was like 25 bucks. And I think that was like 40. It's ridiculous. And then for hatchets, if you were to ask me like compact hatchets into like a two-handed more usable axe, I'm gonna have to say it's the Council Tools series of axes. These things are made in America. They use, I believe it's 5160 if I remember correctly, the steel. I love these axes. I got the 24-inch handle. I kind of regret that. I wish I had gone with the larger version, just because it's even more capable. But these are phenomenal tools and can be picked up for under $200. And I would put these, from my experience, up against any, like Hulksburg or any of those type of Swedish-made axes. So those would be some tools that you could totally give somebody, and those, I think they would totally love it if they're in the outdoors, bushcrafting, camping a lot. Those would be two great options. So let's talk illumination here with, I forgot to introduce my co-host, YUKON Cornelius, right here. I got this off Amazon, just randomly, if you're into YUKON Cornelius. And yeah, he's even rocking his sidearm, man. Got his revolver. Leave a comment how many of you love YUKON Cornelius, and I'll have a couple links to some of the merch if you're interested in rocking some of that for the holidays. This is like my favorite holiday hoodie. But illumination, okay, so if you're looking at headlamps, I cannot recommend enough the Petzl Acticore series. Now you can get a very inexpensive version with like 250 lumens and a few features for like 20 bucks. You can go all the way up to about 70, I want to say, for this model that I have, which will run on either, and all of them will do this, regardless of the price point and lumen count. They will run on either 3 AAA batteries or battery bank. You can purchase, or this one came with, that's why it was like 70 or 80 bucks, a rechargeable, USB rechargeable battery bank. And I've gone on like 4 nights of backpacking multiple times and not run out of juice on the battery bank, and haven't had to go over to a AAA. So I mean, you could go for quite a while, and you just don't have to keep burning through batteries. And because it's removable, if it runs out, you can just throw a spare batch in there. They have several different, features. This one has a red light. This one I think 600 lumens, I want to say, maybe 650 on this particular model. And it just really depends on your budget. This would be like one-stop shop, I would say, for a series of headlamps that are just phenomenal. Then if you're gonna ask me like, dude, you could only have 2 flashlights for the rest of your life, probably what I would do currently is have the full-size Streamlight Wedge. This guy is kind of like an OTF pocket knife, where you just push forward and boom, you get 1,000 lumens, and then you release, and I think it drops to 300, and then you switch it off. Pocket clip like a knife, ambidextrous, USB-C rechargeable. I love this thing. It's a little long. That's the only downside to it, and it's pricey. It's like 85 bucks, but I love this thing. And if I'm wanting to make sure that I'm going, like if I'm going into an environment where I'm like, I want a tactical light, this is the one that I take every single time. Then just for general, that's always on me, is my Rovivon Aurora, what is this, A3 Pro. This one's like $25 to $35, 650 lumens, boom. Lots of different features, USB-C rechargeable now, very lightweight. I've had versions of these on my keyring for 2 years now, and none of them have ever busted on me. I've only upgraded this one because I wanted something that was USB-C rechargeable and have an aluminum body, whereas the other version I had was USB rechargeable, micro USB, and polymer. So both are great, but I just wanted a little bit of an upgrade. Those things are awesome for illumination. Now, if we're looking at another tool set, guys, this thing is so cool, and I've used it several times. Our AC crapped out on us, and I had to basically do a whole rebuild of like the motor, put in a new motor, new squirrel cage, and do a bunch of other stuff inside with the computer for AC this summer. And I used a lot this little tiny ratchet set from Klein. This is a ratchet, and it's got the little adjuster right there. Really cool. I carry it in my little EDC pack all the time. It's got, I believe that's a 1/4 inch driver. And then I picked up, I think these are like Nico, what's it called? Ratchet set basically, and put that in there. Boom, you're ready to rock and roll. And then it also comes with a little bit kit with an adapter, so you can do, other ones. Hopefully that'll focus. There we go. As well as just like screwdrivers. So it's really good too for like weird angled screws that you have to maybe de-thread and get out. I love this little thing, and it's so compact and go with me everywhere. And light work, on different activities, even like light work on vehicles. You can use that for, and it's like always on your, you can have it like in a little backpack or something, and it doesn't weigh a lot. So that's a cool little setup. And the ratchet's like 15 bucks, and then that kit was like 8. So like under 20 bucks, maybe 25 bucks, and you can get that whole kit. That for gearheads, tool nuts on your list, that would be an awesome option. And this is a great little stocking stuffer. We play this all the time. My buddy Brian, all the time, he and I do this like after a hike or for backpacking. We always take a set of Pocket Farkle. That's an amazing game right there. Let's see. Let's talk some blades, and we'll talk sharpeners along the way. Okay, I just did this. You guys know it. Probably one of my favorite pocket knives in existence, and it's the Bailout. Now, this is the full M4 version of the Bailout. I removed the handle scales and got AWT, Advanced Weapon Technologies, aluminum handle scales. These things are sick. Take this knife to a whole nother level. They're a little thicker. They're more textured. The whole knife isn't as clacky. I got upgraded washers, like larger washers in here, and this thing is so sick now. So I mean, what was a $270 pocket knife is now, because these are $75 scales, I don't know, whatever the math is on that, $350. But I had to. I love this knife so much. I use it so much. I just wanted something a little bit like upgraded with it. So that blade, and if you want to get crazy, they do all kinds of Benchmates and Spydercos. Particularly, they have handle scales that you can get for those. On the reverse side, like the most budget but the most brutal pocket knife you'll ever like pick up. This is the Cold Steel SR1 Light. I had both versions, a Tanto and a Drop Point. Or Spear Point, I guess. Gave them both away. My buddy has the Spear Point version, and somebody just on the road when we were traveling, I gave the Tanto version to, and so I haven't had one for a while. I recently picked it up for like $36 on Amazon, and this thing is just like a monster. HCR 14 MOV, super thick lockback. I mean, it's basically a pocket version of the SRK from Cold Steel, and it's under 40 bucks. So super durable, insane. Throw down if you, I know a lot of you guys have this one. If you carry this and use the SR1 Light, this is the toughest budget folder, I would argue, on the market. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to my guns. Now, if I know like $270 for a Benchmade, it's kind of astronomical. If you want to do like a really good gift for your, a loved one that has like, I love crossbars. This, I want to make sure I say the name right. Vosteed Raccoon is excellent, and the reason is because it has Sandvik 14C28N. It's running on caged ceramic ball bearings in bronze housing. It's got milled out liners, G10 handles that are machined, rounded, ambidextrous with like, okay, that's a way better pocket clip than the Duralock series that currently exists, the budget overseas made one from Kershaw. Because I was gonna consider Kershaw, but after having used this, I think I like this more than Kershaw. The pocket clip's a little better, the action seems to be a little smoother, the crossbar lock seems to be working a little bit more, and I love, if you were to ask me, you have a choice, Sandvik 14C28N or D2 for a budget steel, I would gravitate more to the Sandvik. That's me, that's my mileage. So they have tons of color combinations. This happens to be like almost a Stormtrooper color. The downside, I wish that they had done black hardware. So like the white with the black blade is really cool, and that is like a, it's not like a, I don't think it's sprayed on. It's kind of like a tumbled black, I don't know, finish. But all the hardware silver or stainless. It would have been great to have that blacked out, Stormtrooper level. But they have plenty of like more generic. They have micarta handle versions, I think, and those are like 60 bucks. Oftentimes on sale for less than that. So for like a sub $100 crossbar lock, that is a great option. Be careful though. I've heard a lot of complaints about the push button version of this, where the push button wasn't super reliable. So I would stick with the crossbar. The crossbar's been holding up great and doing exactly what I wanted to do. And you know what? I can't not bring this up. For kind of in the middle, we got to talk about the Manix 2. Manix 2 lightweight with SPY 27 steel, kind of in between S35VN and S30V. It's kind of in that family, in that ballpark, and you can usually score these for like 150 to 175. So excellent, super lightweight, ambidextrous, got that ball, theirs is a ball bearing lock, but awesome, awesome profile. I love this blade. I couldn't tell you. It would be like trying to split up twins if you were to ask me like if I could only have the Bailout or if I could only have the Manix. I don't honestly know what I would do. I don't know what I would do. So, okay, so we talked through some pocket knives. Let's talk about a little apparel here. And let me take another little hit here. Any form of mechanics gloves, I love. These are more like my light duty, work on the vehicle, carry junk ones that last me several years. These are just like the fast fit. So they just slide on under 20 bucks. These guys are great. And then I got these at Costco, like a 2-pack for like 30 bucks. These are 3M insulated leather gloves. These are great for like around the fire pit and just cold weather. These things are awesome. So just any, I mean, if you're looking for like some glove wear, hand wear, that's a great option. And then ice, where is it? Got all this stuff thrown around everywhere. Oh no. I might have to just roll in a shot. Is my Outdoor Research Ferocity hoodie. I have literally been rocking that for, I want to say, 8 years. 8 years, one of them, without fail. I love that thing. Man, that's sad. I don't know where it is. Anyway, I love that thing. I thought I brought it out here. Breeze, it's lightweight. I wear it all the time. You guys see me wearing it a lot when I'm on trail. It's an amazing, amazing hoodie, and I can't say enough about it. I actually had one over the years. I have like 4, but I had one start to pill out in a weird way, and some of the like fibers were coming out in an odd way. And so I messaged Outdoor Research, and they have their like infinity guarantee, and they sent me a brand new one right away. They were like, I sent them photos, and they were like, boom, there you go. We'll just ship you a new one. So that was awesome. And not because, you know, I run a YouTube channel or anything, I just messaged them out of the blue. So that's an excellent hoodie option as well, if you're looking into that. And then for hats, I know we're always like, tons of you guys love your hats. Me too. One is a new one that I've found recently. Magpul makes excellent hats. I like the kind of low profile ones. I don't like super high standoffish trucker hats. These are soft on your ears, several different color combinations. You know, you got the Magpul logo, flexible, kind of flat, more form-fitting, and they don't have the button on top. So if you wear headphones a lot, if you have ear protection, when you're at the range, or if you're like on a construction site and you just wear ear protection a lot, this is an awesome option, and they're, you know, usually 20 bucks or less. And then this one, if you like more of kind of like a hiking profile, this is like $15. This is a Richardson Outdoors brand. They have like 8 colors, all soft, again, really lightweight, flexible. I mean, I could literally like ball it up. This thing is awesome. So if you like that kind of profile, here, I'll just put it on. I'm getting kind of hot with that beanie anyway. There we go. Adjustable in the back. There you go. Kind of a, you know, flexy bill, but super breathable. So I like that. You know, for hiking, it'd be ideal for like runners, hikers, you know, that type of stuff. It'd be great for that. So let's do sharpener here real quick. 2 sharpeners, if you were to ask me, like, dude, gift item and just like, what do you use the most? I have like tons of like the belt sharpeners. I have the Work Sharp professional guide. Like, I do use those depending on what I'm doing, but these tend to get used the most. The Work Sharp field sharpener for most like pocket knives and compact fixed blades, with the ceramic rod, the leather strop, the 2 stones. It's like my dog, Tommy Trail Dog's doing great, for those of you who might be curious. He hasn't been with me because he hurt his foot a little while back, and he's just been kind of like limping a lot, but he's been getting better from what we can tell. So hopefully he'll be on the trail soon. He like did something in the backyard. I don't know what that he did. Anyway, so this one is better for like pocket knives and compact fixed blades. This is great for like axes, machetes, and larger survival knives. It's a little bit slimmer and better for like going in the field. Still has a leather strap, 2 diamond portions, even has backup paracord. But this is great to like use on an axe, to resharpen a long bladed machete, because then you're able to like hold it and resharpen. You know, it just works really, really well. So, and that's a Sharpel one, and they're about the same cost. So depending on what tools you think the person might be resharpening a lot, or you yourself, would determine that, and that will bleed right into some fixed blades here. I gotta throw it in, and we are gonna talk about it in an upcoming video, guys. It needs to be readdressed. The Line Steel T1, excellent blade, one of the best values for this size of a knife. This has nylock steel. We're gonna go into all details later. I love this. This could be a crossover combat slash, you know, compact survival knife. About 5 inches, just a hair under, I think. Epic blade, leather sheath, and it's gonna be anywhere from, I can find them sometimes for $150, usually $175. I would pay that 3 times over and over again. I would do that for this blade. Excellent blade, even has some Moly compatibility on that leather sheath. Super dope. So that's kind of like a catch-all blade. Obviously Moras, can't go wrong with that. There you go, Mora Companion. Of the cheap Moras, that is the one I like the most over like the basic 1.1, 5.11, and like the Cans Bowl. I prefer this one. I just like the ergonomics and the way it feels and just like the blade shape. So for like 20 bucks, can't go wrong with that. Let's talk combat. If we're just talking straight combat knife, and in many ways has usurped my Gerber strong arm for this recommendation, is the Spartan Blades fighting knife. They basically took the idea of the K-Bar fighting knife, made it full tang, put mind-blowing ergos on it, 1095 Crovan, and an ambidextrous locking polymer sheath and it's made by Spartan Blades. Sorry, it's made for Spartan Blades by K-Bar. All American made, the sheath's even USA made, locks into place, and I paid $125 for this. $125, and nothing needs to be upgraded. The scales are amazing, all of it. Great recommendation to gift to like a soldier, someone on deployment, something like that, who trusts their blade. I would totally recommend that thing. If you don't want to spend $250, $280 on a Mora, but you're looking for a camp knife, you don't want to buy their Ashwood. And it's weird because the price, but what I've found is like, basically, if you're gonna spend under 30 bucks, just go with a Mora or similar, Scandinavian, there's several companies out there that make them. The knife arena that is between like $30 and let's say $80 is really slim, and there's not much there. There's some, but there's not a lot there, and it just makes sense for me to either stick with cheap, aka Mora, or spring for a little bit more and get into like 80 to 100 realm, and then you can get a lot of blades. So this one for like $85 is the Joker Campero. I've talked about it a lot this year. Probably gonna need to do a redo video on it. Full flat grind, Spanish made, amazing micarta pinned in scales, like 0.14 on the thickness, maybe even 0.13, 9-degree spine, different types of leather sheath options, and it's Sandvik 14C28N. And like basically the price of sometimes a more Garberg, but you're getting a full flat. And you're getting leather and just like all this. I mean, it's a great option. Great option right there. I got 2 other fixed blades we'll talk about a little bit later. We'll come back to and swing back to, and they're the big boys that I would totally recommend. But let's go to like some other kind of random stuff here. Lord of the Rings Extended Edition would definitely be something to consider either buying for somebody who's is kind of into it, and maybe they just stream it sometimes. The extended versions are my favorite. Except for the last one, because I probably fast forward sometimes, to be honest. But I watch that every holiday season. It's the original Lord of the Rings series in extended format. So I'll probably start on Thanksgiving, like the week of Thanksgiving. I'm gonna probably start doing it. There's that, and then 2 books I could recommend. I just started reading it, but I found out about it because of the show on Amazon, The Terminal List, right there, and I started reading the book by Jack Carr. What is he? A former Navy SEAL. There you go. I'm like 5-6 chapters in, and I cannot stop reading it. Like, I'm not a huge reader. Like, if it's kind of difficult for you, it's not for the faint of heart. It's brutal. But that would be one recommendation. And during this, Christmas season, holiday season, the Book of John is an amazing book to just read the life of Jesus and just see what he came to. A lot of times we focus on the baby, and it's like, oh, that's cute. But like focusing on who Jesus was, what he did for mankind, saving us, from our fallen born nature that we're all born into is just like amazing. So if you're looking this holiday season, like I want to get back into scripture, I haven't done it in years, or maybe you never have, and you just want to see what it's all about, the Book of John is an amazing place to start. I highly recommend it if you're gonna do some reading and you have some spare time this holiday season. Now, with that, let's talk about fire starters, fire in your heart. The Uber Leben series, I love this thing. It's huge, and this is what I usually use most of the time in the videos to strike with, because it's got this huge, nice handle. I stripped the paracord and put fire cord in there and kind of made it a little longer so I can manipulate it. But let's see, you just saw that there. Man, look at that thing. It's like a freaking flamethrower. And then they have their Uber Leben wick with bellows. And you can get, I know a lot of you guys are like, I can just make that. Okay, cool. I don't have time to do that. I have so many things in my life going on right now. For those of you who have spare time to make your own paraffin wicks and stuff, great. But this is a great fire starter. You can like move it around, burn what you need, light what you need, and then you got the little bellows, blow, and it works like a freaking champ. So those, whoa, each under I think 20 bucks is last I checked. So I think I threw some fire steel into that. I'm done drinking that. Since we talked about paracord, I really like this. I think this is an Atwood or Atwater, I can't remember. Again, I'll try and annotate it in, if not, it'll be in the list. This is a way to store, carry, and do everything you need for your 100 feet of paracord. So you wrap it around, it comes standard with one, and it has a port back here for a full-size Bic lighter, so you can burn off your ends and do that type of stuff. And then up front, it's got a cutter right there. So you can just cut it, so you can cut it, burn it, wrap it up. It's got a hole for a carabiner. So that's a one-stop shop. If you or a loved one uses paracord a lot, that's great to throw in a survival kit, camping kit, you know, whatever. And this is a great little adaptation since we're talking kind of camping, or I'm gonna move over to that for a minute. The MSR Pocket Rocket 2.0, we've tested several different ones. We've done the BSR, is that what it is? BRS, whatever. It's okay and it's cheap, but I found that the boil times were faster with this. Yes, it's 45 to 50 bucks, but the MSR Pocket Rocket 2.0, for me, it's my favorite like compact burner. And when you run that in tandem, you can pick up one of these Kevia, I think is how you say it, adapters. So what you do is you screw your burner on here, and then you can screw this into a propane canister. They sell propane feet, you know, it's a little tippy, so you can buy a little seat that holds the propane tank up, but then you can burn propane, and propane tends to be more fuel efficient, particularly at cooler temperatures, I believe is how that goes. But this is a great little adapter piece to use. Read the instructions, make sure you're doing it right, make sure you don't have any leaks when you're using it. But this is very cool and just like adds versatility so that you can like do car camping with the propane tank and then go backpacking and use your isopropylene. Propylene, what is it? Jack that up. Isobutane, sorry, that's what I meant. And yeah, so those are some great little kit options there for that. Water purification, there's so many options out there. I've just gotten to a place where I'm just like, I'm just using this. I'm gonna keep using it, I'm happy with it. It's the GRAYL, it's the GRAYL system. I usually go with the 16 ounce, the lighter version. Yes, you have to replace the cartridges more frequently, but it's so fast, so convenient, and you know you're cleaning everything out. Like I can take this to all 7 continents and know that I'm gonna have pure water to drink. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to wonder like what purification levels my stuff is at, all that, and it's a water bottle at the same time. So and usually when I do like backpacking by myself, I can press this twice and get like a full Nalgene full, and then fill it one last time, and I'm basically set for the whole day, and then I do one more batch like in the evening. Like that's it. So you're only having to filter water like twice a day, and it's just very convenient is what I have found. That's for me, that's my mileage. Your mileage may vary. Leave a comment below, let me know. So for coffee, who doesn't like a good thing in coffee? Stanley. I picked this up at Walmart last year. This is like a Pendleton brand or Pendleton collaboration for this model, so I got the cool striping. It's really hard to find apparently. I paid like $35 for this, and then I looked on eBay and they were like 80. Should have bought a couple and sold them, I guess. Anyway, how I make coffee, and I started doing this again, my life changed a lot, our family's life when we went RVing and full timing for a while, is because we didn't want to use a coffee maker and use that energy in an RV, we started doing pour over. So I would put a pour over on top of this, do my pot, and then I have basically a thermos full of coffee all day. And I'll put my pour over against your like plug in, push the power, you know, drip coffee maker any day of the week. So that's how I do coffee. Those thermoses are awesome, even if it's just for work and, you know, the person's gonna make the pot of coffee and then pour it in there, whatever. But that any of the Stanley products I've always been pleased with. I've yet to find a Stanley product I did not like. I'll put it that way. And that'll bring us actually over here to the cookware set. 2 options. If you're a backpacker and that's really what you're focused on, then the Tokes titanium mugs. My wife dropped the lid, so it's in the dishwasher right now. When I was just recently cleaning it. This thing's so lightweight, inexpensive for titanium, and it's just like my rock. It's my rock, and I can do a full meal and a cup of coffee out of this. I think it'll do 28 ounces of water, I want to say, this model. If you don't really care about weight, say you car camp a lot, or you just kind of do like day hikes and like it's not a big deal, just stick with the Stanley. It's half the price. It's going to be about like 18 bucks. This thing is amazing. Got the fold over, got the lid. Replace that plastic with a little D-ring though. That plastic will melt pretty quick over like a campfire. It comes with a little plastic tab normally, but you know, got the vented lid. Comes with the 2 insulated mugs. We hung out at the car yesterday, my buddy Wes and I, after our hike, and I just took this instead because it had the mugs inside. We made some coffee, and like we're ready to rock and roll, you know. And this will do, I want to say 24 ounces maybe of water. So this is a great option, inexpensive for car camping. You know, if you're not counting every ounce. I mean, Walmart has those, lots of different camping stores, stuff like that. And that will bring us right here into, I hope you guys are, if you guys are still hanging with me, leave a comment. Appreciate you guys kicking it. Coming to the end, I got a couple more items here. A couple more things. Yeah, the blades. Okay, 2 options. I used this and I really liked it so far. The Helinox ground chair. Now it's pretty penny. I think I paid $150 for it, but it weighs less than a pound, if I remember correctly. Right around a pound. And it's pretty compact. This is for backpacking and like hiking to get yourself off the ground. And for a couple years, I wasn't taking a chair with me. Last 2 years, I've taken a chair and I'm like, yes, I will do it I'll carry the extra weight. It just feels good to get off the ground when you're after a long day with, you know, 40, 50 pounds on your back. And that's the way to go. So I like that. They do have a more high standing one. So this low one, if you don't, you kind of have to roll off of it and put your knee on the ground. If you don't really want that, and you'd rather just have like a get up, get on like type of chair, go with the legged version that has like legs. The downside is those legs tend to dig into the ground and you sink. That one has more stable points and then you don't sink. So that's kind of why I went with that one, is it doesn't sink as much, but it is a little more annoying to get out of than the standard. And then for a hammock, the sub 7, and I think they have a sub 6 now, Eno 1-man hammock. So good. Like that, I mean, that's like as big as a baseball, maybe a softball right there. Weighs, this one under 7 ounces. The sub 6 is under 6 ounces. So wild. And that's a good, just like hanging, or you could, you know, just throw a tarp over that if you're not really worried about bugs, and you could easily, you know, sleep in that, no problem. And great for just like chilling, you know, if you want to hang out, hike to a spot, spend a couple hours, read a book, read the terminal list, right? Terminal list, yeah. Sometimes once I said like terminalist or something. It's like, no. So let's see. I think I've hit almost everything but the fixed blades. Yeah, almost everything but the fixed blades. Okay, 2 fixed blades, and I think I might have one other thing here. But okay, I love my SC6. Don't get me wrong. And for the money, it's excellent. But for that same size, if you want better edge retention, more rust resistance, better ergonomics, and overall more capability, the Line Steel M7 is the way to go. For $70 more probably. This is right around 100 or 200 bucks, maybe 220 now. 90-degree spine, even though it's slightly rounded, you can throw sparks. High saber grind, like 0.2 on the thickness, 0.2. 7-inch blade, so like 6-inch, it's a little bit bigger. Like mind-blowing ergonomics. You will not find a big blade with better ergonomics. This thing is so good, so good. Huge, massive, and a little bit, I think it's right around a pound, maybe 14 ounces. So it's definitely a little heavier, so better chopping, but you can still, with the choil, it's massive, get up and get really good woodworking done and just mind-blowing feather sticks. And it does have an ambidextrous kydex sheath. Now, mine was a little sticky at first. Over time, it has gotten a lot better. And I found, you guys, when you did the comment on the first video, told me that apparently most of yours didn't have that issue. Molly Backer, I mean, it's a one-stop shop. If you're into survival knives, like that size, convince me that you have a better blade than that for like the design and all that. And then if you want to swing through stuff, I have so many huge blades, and I love them, don't get me wrong. And each one of them in their own right has a great option. But one-stop shop, man. If you or a loved one do not have an SE Hungelis, it's the way to go. It's the way to go. For about 200 bucks now, 1095, lifetime warranty, ridiculously comfortable in the hand, so fast, huge, comfortable handle, no need to upgrade anything, ambidextrous, epic kydex sheath. The kydex sheath alone is worth 100 bucks. Like the way that it's designed, locks, phenomenal. The only I don't understand why they would put a finger choil on an SE6 and not a finger choil on the HONGLUS. That makes no sense to me. Now you can kind of like get up there, and if you really want to get after it with like a belt sander, grinder, you could try and make your own choil. I don't think that would void the warranty, but you're going to thin out that stock right there. So I mean, it may not be quite as durable, but I mean, I would go head to head with a zombie with in the urban environment, and I would go head to head with any jungle environment with this blade. Absolutely. So there's that, guys. And then let's just talk hydration super fast. And oh, I have a no, I don't want to do that. Yeah, let's just be a waste of time. Okay. So okay, I know I talk about hard side hydration. They're not sponsoring this video. I just believe in them. I just use them. They're awesome guys, and they've come up with something that I use frequently, all the time when I'm hiking and backpacking. Hiking and backpacking, this is to me the best way to go. Regardless if you go 28 millimeter or you go with the Nalgene. I tend to gravitate more with the Nalgene wide mouth. Yes, it's a little heavier, but I just like that way in that bottle a little bit more. But if you want to count every ounce, and you guys like ultralighters, that's an excellent way to get hands-free hydration from like a smart water bottle or something. But if you're like snowboarding or mountain biking, I'm gonna be honest, I wouldn't be using those. That's me, and that's my mileage. On foot activities, I would be going with the hard side. If it's vehicle activities, aka particularly like mountain biking and snowboarding, then I would definitely go with a hydration bladder system. So it's good to have both. I use this probably 3 times a year though. And I would go with a source water bladder. If you're gonna go with a water bladder, that's my take for years now. Go back and watch videos from years ago. It's the only ones I have. I have like 4 of them, so that each one in our family has it. They have every size imaginable, disconnecting hoses, the port mouth disconnect. They're inexpensive. They don't smell or taste weird. Big open mouth slit so that you can fill up or dump really quick, and then a secondary port for easier filling. Just the whole 9 yards. Those are an excellent option for a water bladder system. So, guys, that is me. I think I've hit everything. No, there's one more. Okay, sorry. Let's hit it real fast. These. Yeah, dude, any one of those. The Nipex, I know I said it wrong, the Kindpex, whatever. Push button locks, German made. I carry one of these in my EDC kit. When a multi-tool wrench won't grab the bolt properly, this thing, I've yet to have a bolt that I've come in contact with that this guy, or nut, that this guy can't grab. So those things are awesome, totally recommended, and you can get some pretty compact ones as well. Guys, that is me, that is my mileage. These are some Christmas gift items. Leave questions, check out the links. Appreciate you guys so much for hanging out with me, spending time with me today. Love you guys. Stay tuned for more videos coming this holiday season. Got a lot. We've got best blades, best fixed blades of the year, best pocket knives of the year, some reduxes like the T5 that we're going to talk through. It's going to be an epic ride. We still got some awesome new blades to hit before the year ends. So love you guys. Appreciate you so much for hanging out with me today. Check out the other video popping up. Subscribe if you haven't yet. And until next time, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared. YUKON, Cornelius, and I will see you guys later. We'll see you out there.